Hi, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. But right now, if you're noticing that we don't have the QR code up there, if you're here for AMA, it's going to be in a different section of the presentation. So just wait for that and make sure you all sign in so you can get credit for class and also credit for AMA. It's just going to be a couple of minutes, so just hang tight. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to get started here. So today we have our business to business certificate. We're really excited to have 3 of our corporate sponsors here to talk a little bit about what they do and some opportunities that they have within their organization. But we have a few quick announcements before we get into that. So as I'm sure many of you know, our regional conference will be held on Friday, October 27th, which is just 2.5 weeks away. So we're getting really excited for that, but we need your help. So on Thursday, October 26th, will be our chapter social at the Community Engagement Center near Walmart. And we will have a bunch of different schools from all over the nation coming to have dinner and play games with us at 7 p.m. And then on Friday will be the day of our competitions. So we will have 6 in-person competitions, keynote speakers from Pinterest and Microsoft. And then we will also be doing sessions on digital badges and AI for sales and marketing, which is really exciting because we paired with a company to give us licensing to do it. So it's really exciting that we get the opportunity to do that. So with that being said, we have 2 QR codes up here, one for competition registration. So again, 6 in-person competitions, they're all listed on there. We'll provide training for everyone on those competitions. And then if you're interested in helping out with volunteering, we need many, many spots filled. So anything that you are willing to help us with was greatly appreciated.
All right, so for next Wednesday's meeting, we have our CMU Day. So if you didn't know already, CMU stands for Creative Marketing Unlimited, and it's our in-house student-run consulting division. So we work with real-life companies and do some marketing for them. Next week, we will be doing activities related to the accounts that we have for CMU at our general meeting. And then we will also have some pizza. So these are some of the different accounts like Protect Wisconsin Waterways, Dovetail, J. Roberts, and AMA Milwaukee. So we're going to be doing those activities for them.
And then now we will be having our business to business certificate, and we have three amazing corporate sponsors here with us today: Victor Envelope, Fastenal, and TTI. So we are really appreciative that they came to talk with us today, and we'll get rolling with that in just a minute here.
And after everything is done, don't be shy. Come up to our partners. They're always willing to talk to us, and they're looking to hire you for jobs and internships. So don't be shy. Come on up. They're really nice people. Thank you.
And one of our amazing advisors, Dave, will be leading today's panel.
Wow. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We're going to get started with the panel discussion. We have, as mentioned, three of our wonderful partner corporations with us tonight. We've got Juan with Fastenal. Come on up, grab a seat. Matt from Victor Envelope is with us tonight, and Jennifer? Jenna with TTI. A lot of you will know them from Milwaukee Tool and some of the other companies that they're with. Jenna. So we're going to turn it over to the three of them to do some introductions for themselves, talk a little bit about their organizations, how they differ as B2B organizations specifically, and also some of the things that make them unique in their markets, and some of what they do as far as internships and recruiting. So we'll start off with Juan from Fastenal and work our way across.
So you had me come up first so you could make me go first, right?
Yes, absolutely. Juan is nervous, so please make him feel welcome.
So I'm just a regional recruiter with Fastenal. Work closely with the marketing team. Our marketing team is based out of Winona, Minnesota. That's where our headquarters is. Fastenal is a customer supply chain company. Basically, we're going to help people get whatever they need to operate. Could range anywhere from holding Cirrus aircrafts together to putting stocking a break room. Whatever it is a company needs to provide a service, manufacture something, we're going to try to make sure they have it. Maybe not the cheapest, but the most reliable, great product, and help them use it correctly. Fastenal's been around since 1967. I feel like I have been around that long, but I've only been with Fastenal for 2.5 years. New to the company, so I'm getting trained in, still learning a lot. But yeah, so we just want to. Oh yeah, was I supposed to control that? I'm sorry. I have a whole bunch of slides because I didn't know what to expect today because hopefully I can use this thing. But so business to business sales, it's a little bit different from our business to customer sales. We tried to do a little bit of both for a while. And we found out really quickly that the B2C is not in our wheelhouse. We do still have some places where a customer can walk into a branch, they can purchase some things, but they have to buy the quantity, the box quantity of what we have. Is this thing? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was just worried about the microphone. Sorry. So this is just a little bit about us. A lot of people don't know who we are because we are a supply chain company behind the scenes. Just a lot about who we are. Over 22,000 people working for us across 27 different countries. 71% of our company is customer facing. So I think that's one thing that puts us apart from other companies is that yes, we're putting technology, as the people who did the sales competition today. No, we're putting technology into our customers. We're trying to get as much technology in there to help them do their jobs better. But we're also trying to get as many people close to that customer as well to build that relationship and make sure that things continue and that supply chain is strong. How do you define business to business sales? Obviously, you've all been through this. You've all had this conversation. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, there's a difference between that is that we're going to have a relationship, because more than likely it's not just going to be a one-time sale. Somebody walks in, buys something and leaves. they're going to be doing something, manufacturing something that they're going to need something over and over again. And so we have to really show that value, provide that service, and help them see that moving forward. These are just some ways that we partner with our customers, local branch, dedicated sales reps, the vending, the bin stock, the e-commerce, and the on-site. I think this is where it's really important to think about our marketing team and where they come into this in this area, because a lot of marketing, you're thinking B2C and you're just getting your name out there. Everybody's your customer. You want everybody to know who you are. Where at times I've heard managers say, I don't know if this is even really the best idea that we're sponsoring NHL, that when you see the playoffs, the Fastenal will be in the ice on near one of the goalies, because not everybody who sees that is going to be our customer. We need to figure out who's going to be our customer. The way that I work with that with our marketing team is we work with the how we go to market with our professors, with our career services, and with our students. How can we help you learn about who we are? Like I said, the B2B is more strategic than transactional. If it's more strategic and we can show them that and show our value, that's going to help us keep them as a customer and keep them moving smoothly. Just a little bit about us right there. The technology's changing our lives. We're hopeful that the machines, the technology that we can put into our customers will change their life. We can vend anything. We can have different solutions in there to help with whatever they need. And the big thing with that is the data they get. And so now we work with our marketing team. We talk about how we can present these things to our customers. How can we present the things that you can put in our solutions, but then also how can you present the way that they can use the information from them, et cetera. Choosing the right solution. We have a lot of people that we're just going to get in there. We're going to build that relationship again. Like I said, we're not going to go through all these. I'm just going to click through them quickly, just some of our different solutions, some pictures of results. So this again would be our marketing team of how do we put these together? How do we show people what we do and how we can improve an area and make things run more smoothly? This was a video. I'm not going to play it, but some of the people that were in different classes were able to see that video about why vending and how that can help you be more organized, run more efficiently. Global footprint. Like I said, we're all over the world. We have a lot of different locations, over 3,000 in market locations. That's my quick presentation. We, like I said, we have over 3,000 in market locations. We're doing internships all year round. Our more robust experience is probably during the summer. We have branches all over the place. We try to be within an hour and a half from industrial areas.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Juan. Keep in mind, we will have a panel discussion when they're done with their introductions, and we will have some time to take some questions from you guys. So think about what questions you might have, and if they pop into your head, let us know, and we'll get you guys a microphone. Next up, Matt with Victor Envelope.
Hey guys, my name is Matt. I'm from Victor Envelope. Unlike Juan, I do not have a slideshow today, so I'm just going to wing it here. We are an envelope manufacturer. We manufacture all kinds of printed products, from envelopes to labels to golf ball sleeves, whatever you need. We can basically do it. If not, then it's my job to broker it out. So we sell nationwide. We're not restricted to just the Illinois area where we're located. We're located just outside of O'Hare Airport. We sell over 1 billion envelopes every year. That is our predominant source of business. What are the other questions you would like me to answer?
Tell us a little bit about your go-to-market strategy, how you guys reach out to your customers, both existing and future customers.
That's a good question. So really, I am the marketer. As a sales rep, it's my job to get Victor Envelope's name out there. Yes, we do LinkedIn. We do some smaller marketing tactics, but our predominant source of marketing is me sending out sample packets, going to visit customers, maybe going to a trade show. That's kind of how we market. Our industry is a little bit different, might be a little archaic, but That's the best way to do it, is kind of just getting our name out there, going to trade shows, things like that.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about what you look for in interns or new hires or people to join your staff?
Sure. So for interns or new hires, we're really looking for someone that's entrepreneurial. When you start out, you don't start with a book of business. Got to start from scratch, which can be really tough. But after about 2 years, if you're in the full-time role, it really pays off. So just someone that's entrepreneurial, really wants to stick their nose down. You definitely get a lot of no's, and it takes a while to make sales, but it will happen. Someone that is dedicated. You got to come in early and you got to leave late. I think a lot of other sales roles will be like that, but that's definitely something we're looking for. Then we're looking for someone that will want to stick around, right? So we don't necessarily want someone to come to our internship and then maybe job hop somewhere else the next year. We really want to show someone what we're all about, so you do stick around. I did the internship and I stayed around. I'm not saying you have to as an intern, but we're really looking to have you for your career. So.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Matt with Victor Envelope, everybody. Again, we'll have time for questions after we get through the introductions and through some of the panel questions that we have. Okay. Next up, we're going to go to Jenna from TTI, probably the brand that most of you would recognize, Milwaukee Tool. Up on the board, we'll see some of the other brands we have. Take it away.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenna Brown. I'm a regional manager with Team TTI. And much like yourselves, I graduated from UW-Whitewater back in 2021. I'm excited to share with you all just more about our company, our brands, and our business. And if you're not familiar with Team TTI, I'm sure you're familiar with one of our brands. So this here kind of breaks down just the different areas of our business that we really hit on. We've got 3 big pillars that we like to really kind of look at. We've got our power tools, hand tools, and accessories, most notably with Milwaukee Tool. Our outdoor power equipment, we really dominate that space with Ryobi. And over in our floor care and appliances, we're also the parent company to Hoover, Dirt Devil, Auric, and Vax. We're the world leader in cordless domination, focused on designing and bringing to market products that are going to improve and drive efficiency both in the home and on the job site. Awesome. Kind of looking at what our entry-level roles kind of entail. We launched a leadership development program back in 2009. Since then, everyone has started in one of our 2 first roles. We take a lot of pride in people starting from the ground up, learning about our niche categories, learning about the end users that drive our business and where the demand really comes from. So full-time roles are going to look a lot like owning a set management of accounts, anywhere from 1 to 3 retail locations, focused on hosting large-scale events, giving people the opportunity to try our products hands-on, building relationships with different store KDMs, key decision makers, people that drive our business, doing different creative merchandising. So you have the opportunity to increase store product assortment, bringing in the newest and the most innovative products to those locations, hosting different sales contests, as well as different marketing objectives. Cool thing about that is it all can start off with an internship. I started with the company myself before graduating from UWW as an intern. Nice thing is you're going to know exactly what that full-time role looks like. It's a 10-week program focused on in-aisle selling, working with our end users, learning about what drives our business. You're looking at the most niche products, from hammer drills and impact drivers to band saws, circular saws, and everything in between. You're going to do a lot of career exploration, working with different marketing panels, understanding what areas of our business could you see yourself really growing with. It's a lot of professional development, as well as different projects along the way. Kind of looking at that career launch, this here kind of breaks down what our program and our leadership development program looks like. At the bottom, you can see everyone does start off in one of our 2 first roles as a field sales and marketing representative or a event marketing specialist. We've got opportunities in sales, management, or operations, as well as marketing. But looking at that, you're working under our brand teams then. So this is the exclusive and only way into Milwaukee tool marketing. Everyone starts in one of our two first roles. Also looking at sales, if that is more of an interest to you as well. This is a rapid career development path for you to understand where you can fit best, try out different areas, and really create a career for yourself. Awesome. Jumping into the Milwaukee Tool side of our business, the most exciting side, really our flagship brand. They're a world leader in cordless innovation, and let's jump into it a little bit. Cool. So looking at what B2B and what drives our business as compared to a B2C side, you're really looking at that established footprint and infrastructure, selling more that emotional side of the business. We're working with some of the most high-level retailers, whether it's Home Depots, Grangers, Ace Hardwares, Northern Power Tool, if that's something you're familiar with, really gaining that national recognition that is driven by end user demand. We're at the front line of customer service, close to the end user, because that is where all of our innovation is going to come from. Awesome. Looking at that, that is the only way that we do our selling and our sales processes. You can't go to MilwaukeeTool.com. You can't buy products from there. You can't show up at one of our offices, whether it's in Milwaukee, out in Brookfield, up in West Bend. You're buying directly from our distributors. So we're selling more of that long-term relationship and the emotional side rather than looking at a short-term transactional. Well, this kind of shows you a little bit about what our sales structure looks like because we carry so many different distributors that we work with and build these relationships with. It all starts off with our field sales. So if we're stocking these assortments to these distributors, making sure that we're also on the job sites, making sure that we have the right products in the right places at the right times. Awesome. And this kind of shows you too, just more of what our channels look like. We group our distributors into kind of three main things. So we've got our Home Depot, it's our largest customer. We've got our industrial construction, that's going to be things like your Grangers, accounts of that sort, whether it's Northern Power Tool. RFS side of our business is going to cover more of the Ace Hardware side. And then Job Site Solutions is actually working on that day-to-day job site with those organizations, making sure that, you know, we are driving them to the correct distributors. So that's a little bit about just kind of our processes as a whole. And
All right. Thank you very much, Jenna. Appreciate it. All right. So the B2B market's significantly different than the business to consumer market that a lot of you are very familiar with. So we're going to spend some time with these three talking about what makes those markets unique and some of the things that are going on in them. I want to come back to Matt because you touched on something early. You said that if you produce that there are a lot of things that you print and you're able to produce, but if you can't, you work with partners and you broker that out. Can you talk to that a little bit? And then I've got a follow-up question for you on it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, when you start out, you get general knowledge of how to sell an envelope. But I mean, everyone's wearing shirts right now. A lot of them have printing on it. If not, it's embroidered. If you can learn how to sell it, Victor Envelope backs you to sell that, and you can find partners to help you help your customers. So again, kind of going back to what Juan said, you know, it's a partnership. It's if your customer is looking for something printed, if you can find out a way to make it work, they'll be happy, and that makes more money for you and your company. So I would say that's kind of how I do it is, you know, figure out how to do it, find the right partner, maybe get a couple different quotes, and you know, help your customer out, make more money for yourself.
How do you find those partners or how do you select them? And then as an extension of that, how important are those relationships?
I would say you learn a lot from the older reps. Usually someone has a source or sources you can check into. But there are times that you have to, you know, go out on a limb and either go visit different places that may make a product and kind of see how they do things. If they're trustworthy, how, you know, how big are they? That might play a factor in as well. But being a large company might not be something that is important either. I mean, we have vendors that are smaller, but if I ask him to do something for me, he's going to do it, whether he's doing it in house or not. So it's kind of having companies that you trust or that you've heard that are good, from people that have used them, or kind of just trusting that word of mouth is how I've found them, and I know other people in my company do that too. So
Fantastic. Thanks. I'm going to jump over to Juan with a similar question. Talk to us a little bit about similar partnerships or about the partner relationship between your vendors and then how your clients value or how important those partnership roles are between Fastenal and your clients.
It's kind of interesting because a lot of people that I talk to, and again, I've only been here 2.5 years, so I'm learning just as much as you at times about Fastenal. But we're an $8 billion approximately company. We only manufacture, I want to say it's between 5 and 7% of what we sell. So really, we're only manufacturing. It's a lot of product when you look at $8 billion, but that's a very small amount of what we sell. So some of our biggest customers are our biggest vendors. So it's a very interesting relationship, that, like, for example, 3M, working with them as a vendor and a customer. We buy things from them and we also supply them with things that they need to operate. So those relationships are key. And if we can't prove that worth and that we're going to be there when they need us, that's not that relationship, that partnership, that customer relationship will not be there moving forward, if that answers your question.
Absolutely. And we'll see a similar theme here, right? One of the things that is crucial to B2B work is that trusting relationship because of the length of these relationships. When you talk about transactional sales, a lot of times it's something that happens very much in the moment and then moves on from there. In both of these examples, we see things that can last years, decades, long before we got there and probably long after we're gone.
And really, that's why we've been able to grow as a company. Starting in Winona, Minnesota as one little branch, and now we're in 27 different countries because we do something well for our customer, and we build that relationship, and then they expand. And as they expand, they want to work with somebody they trust. So then we follow them to different areas.
Jenna, I can see you're chomping at the bit on this one a little bit. Please tell us a little bit about the unique style of relationships that Milwaukee has carved out with Home Depot and with some of your other vendors and how vital those relationships are to you guys.
Absolutely. So our biggest partnership is with the Home Depot. And a lot of ways that we've really done that is making sure that they are front of mind in everything that we do, whether it's from a supply chain standpoint, making sure that our inventory first is going to our largest accounts, making sure that they have the most aggressive promotions each quarter, but also supplying them with these representatives to really help and assist in driving the sell-through of their products that they've purchased from us. Other partnerships too that we've really begun to leverage even more are going to be things like Northern Power Tool, things like Granger, and selling in very specific promotions and product assortments that are unique to their business. Each distributor has a different type of focus market, right? Like you look at a Blaine's Farm and Fleet, it's going to be more agriculturally based, as it looking at like maybe a Ferguson, more plumbing type of products, making sure that they have specific promotions, specific products, all designed for them.
Fantastic. Thanks. The partnerships can't be stressed enough how long these last and the trust level that's built up in these. So thanks for speaking to that a little bit. I'm going to come right back to you, Jenna. I want to move a little bit here and talk about technology. One of the things that we are seeing a tremendous amount of and are on the leading edge of is the influx of generative AI and technologically driven decisions. Can you speak to that a little bit in the B2B side of things for you guys?
A little bit. Looking specifically at the Home Depot side of our relationships, making sure that they have an extremely intelligent version of like an inventory management system, ensuring that as their sales increase, they're not receiving the same amount of product, they're receiving the correct amounts to be then pushing through the correct amount of product to keep up with the demand, I guess. That's our biggest way of doing it, is an intelligent inventory management system with them. But as to our other distributors, I really can't speak on, unfortunately.
Fair enough. We'll hear more about intelligent management of inventory and warehouse control when we get down to Juan's end of things. I'm going to come straight to Matt, though. Because of the difference in your industries, how is technology impacting you guys? How are you using it? Is it helping?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say as much as people think envelopes are going away, marketing companies are kind of bouncing back to the direct mail side of things. The big part of that is with QR codes, smart barcodes, different promotions with USPS to kind of promote the digital side of marketing through envelopes. So um, we're still kind of growing with that, and so is the industry, but certainly, it's getting integrated more with the direct mail side of things, and it's not going away anytime soon. So yeah, I would say it's more so within the components that we sell.
Fantastic. Juan, your business is based heavily on inventory management, right? As you alluded to, not a lot of unique product there. So it's something else you have to deliver on. How is technology and generative AI impacting Fastenal's business?
Just to speak off of the envelopes, and that's something that our marketing team is exploring, and that we work with our marketing team as recruiters. How can we better reach not only our customers but our connections, you all, the teachers, the professors that we work with. So we're looking at going back to mailing things out, because a lot of things now are coming to you in email, a lot of informational things, a lot of ads. And so a lot of times when you get the mail, it's bills or it's something like that. And so finding a new way to reach customers, and it's kind of funny to say finding a new way to reach customers through your mail. But yeah, so that's just another example of how that marketing works. Our technology is that's a huge part of our relationship. We really want to make sure that we can handle what our customers need efficiently, and make sure that we know what they have, instead of going into a business with a notepad and a paper and pencil. We now are trying to find different ways to do, like the sales program today, for those of you who did that, putting vending machines, putting scales, putting lockers, all these different ways for us to be able to understand what we have, the usage, that data, and being able to share that with our customers so that they can learn about their usage and how much they're spending, and what maybe a small change would make here and there. The AI part of it, for me, I've learned more from coming to do these types of conversations, because the business world's a little bit scared of it right now. So I can tell you for Fastenal that the chat GPT is blocked. And I know that part of that is because, and I don't think this is a rumor, but the Samsung issue that they had, an engineer was trying to figure out something and how to fix one of their lines, make it more efficient. So they put a bunch of their data into it, and then one of their competitors wanted to fix their line, and then all of a sudden it started shooting out all this proprietary information about Samsung to the competitor. And so then people started to freak out, block it, not sure how to use it. So coming to these, speaking with the professors, that has helped a lot, but we are definitely looking at ways that we need to educate ourselves in how to use it, and then also how can we incorporate it into our website, where people can go onto our website and buy things. How can we incorporate it into our customers apps or things like that, in order to make that purchasing process easier, and helping them realize what they need before they know they need it.
Outstanding. Follow up from either of you on technologically driven decision-making process? Okay, very good. For whoever wants to start or whoever wants to take this question first, this is an industry that is changing incredibly fast. Like, to Juan's point about this is great technology, we're not entirely sure what to do with it. It looks really cool, but it's the keys to a Corvette, and we're not really sure how to handle this thing. What are the biggest challenges from the B2B side of business right now?
I think about our salespeople and people that are selling our products, and not everybody who sells with Fastenal knows everything about every single nut and bolt, every single type of glove, every single type of PPE. We have specialists that do these things, but just learning that process and not relying on just technology. Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of the places that we go into and we try to and we partner with these people, the cell phone coverage, the Wi-Fi, it's not great. So if you can't survive without your technology, when you get into some of these areas and you're working with some of these larger customers that either block things out or don't allow use, then you have to be able to have those skills and have practiced those skills on your own, on the fly, and being able to do those things. So I think that's one of the scary things for us, is just making sure that we don't lose that personal relationship and connection and the skill to do some of these things without technology, while incorporating it to help our customers do better.
Matt?
I would agree with that. I think the last couple of years have been odd, as far as going to, see customers and, make sure you can stay current with those relationships in person. A lot of stuff has moved digital, but if you can get out in front of customers or bring them into, for us, our plant, I think that's a big way to keep that personal touch, still alive.
And
ahead, Jenna.
on the flip side of that, the sales force for us, not just for TTI, but for Milwaukee Tool, is one of our greatest assets. So it's not necessarily an area where we struggle to keep those relationships alive. Where we really see a larger struggle is keeping up. If anyone else is familiar with Milwaukee Tool and the way that they consistently are bringing cutting edge products to market, always being a leader in cordless innovation, for us, it is making sure that we are providing every single distributor with that cutting edge innovation year after year after year, consistently outpacing ourselves and making sure that they have what they need to overdrive the sales.
A challenge for sure, right? Just to stay in front of the curve. Matt, you had touched on keeping those personal relationships, and so had Juan. More and more difficult as we do more and more transactions electronically, digitally, without person-to-person interaction. What's the key to keeping those relationships? And to Jenna's point, what's the key to keeping those relationships with those critical industries, whether it's high power or plumbing or general maintenance? How do we keep that personal connection?
I would say, kind of relates back to if any of you did the sales competition today, being personable. I mean, everyone's moving away from person to person. It's all cell phones, um, virtual stuff. If you can just have that personal touch and show that you're a person, we're still people, I think that's huge, and that will help a business relationship go on for a very long time.
For me, I think COVID taught us a lot about how we can use Teams, how we can use all these things to meet virtually and stay connected, but without really being connected. For me, and how I bring my business of recruiting to market, I want to try to get in front of my people as much as I can. I know that I can provide services and be flexible and do things on Teams like that. But I also know that that relationship isn't going to grow if I can't get in there and be with the people, see their customers, see the customers, see what's happening, see what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So I think that spreads throughout our culture and throughout our business, that we want to make sure we have people that are, even if somebody's doing everything electronically, we're still going to check in. We're still going to make that connection personally. We're going to go fill up their vending machine and we're going to check in, see how things are going. And at that time, we're going to look and see if there's anything else we can make money on in that business. I mean, help them grow and get better at.
Go ahead.
Awesome. For us, the biggest thing is really going to be, on top of being personable, making each individual distributor, each account, make them feel as though they are the number one priority in your eyes. Making sure that they have and they know that they have the most aggressive promotions, knowing their business just as well as you know your own. Making sure that they have every resource possible and that, you're really taking into account what is impacting them at the time too.
Fantastic. Thanks. Clearly, the role of the individual seller not going anywhere, an evolution to be sure, but probably not going anywhere. We're going to swing over to another favorite topic for this group. Let's talk social media. How do we use it? When do we use it? TikTok recently, in the last year or so, passed YouTube as the most viewed video download source on the internet. What's your company's take? What do you think?
Actually, I was wondering if everybody could join me. We could make a quick TikTok and I could get viral or something. No, I'm just kidding. So actually, Fastenal has a TikTok account. I don't believe we've ever posted anything or that we have anything on there. I could be wrong on that. For me, I've done a lot of the professional LinkedIn social media. We have people who run those. Being a large company and having so many different branches and in-market locations, it can get difficult. For a while, everybody jumped on Facebook and LinkedIn and all these things and started to create their own versions of their LinkedIn Whitewater, LinkedIn or Fastenal Whitewater, Fastenal Platteville, Milwaukee, all these different places. That was really hard on us because then our message started to fray a little bit. So we didn't have consistent messaging. We didn't have consistent formats or things like that. So we are our marketing teams and our HR teams have taken over those larger scale social media platforms, and they are the ones in charge of that. Obviously, I have a social media platform and I can share what we're doing, but as a specific Fastenal branch or Fastenal, that comes through our HR and our marketing teams.
Outstanding. Matt, talk to us a little bit about social media use from a Victor Envelope viewpoint.
I don't have too much to share. Our industry's pretty old school. Not a lot of social media. LinkedIn is probably the only place. I use it for prospecting. So I'd say that's probably the best way is if, you know, a printing company or some sort of end user I'm going after has a print buyer that posts things. That might be my only way that I would say our industry really utilizes marketing via social media. It's just LinkedIn. So
Outstanding. Jenna.
Looking at the Milwaukee Tool side of our business specifically, our social media team is one of our smallest, if not the smallest team that we actually have in our business. When you look at what we're trying to sell, it's power tools, it's accessories, it's safety equipment, and we're selling it to people in industries that are less prevalent on those platforms. So we spend the time and the investments and more so investing in like trade schools, making sure the up and comers are outfitted with our products. And we more so rely on our social medias just to share new product launches and keep up with user frustrations, in which we gather that information to take back to our product development teams.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to stop for a couple of seconds and take questions from you guys. If somebody's got questions out there, get a hand up. We'll get Emily around to get you guys a microphone.
Thank you. Hi, guys. I got a question for you, Matt. So you mentioned for a new salesperson there, you guys don't hand out a book of business or anything. So could you just go into a little more detail on like what the pay structure looks like as a new hire there, and then kind of what does Victor Envelope do as far as like getting you from no book of business, no customers to like, making that first sale?
no, that's a really good question. So as far as I'll start out with a new hire, right? So you'll start out, you have 3 to 6 months of training. We only hire 1 to 2 people a year. So you're the person, right? We want to focus all of our energy onto you. Whether that's, helping you get new customers or showing you how to prospect, showing you how you make an envelope. It's pretty technical. So there's a lot that we pour into you to get you ready to sell. And then when you do start selling, it takes about 2 years to really get a strong book of business. That's kind of where the pay structure comes in too. So you start out on a draw salary. It's a pretty old school way, like everything else in the industry, of starting out. So it's basically like you're not making any money right away, right? So you hypothetically would lose money, but Victor Envelope pays you a salary no matter what. Uh, you build yourself into a fake loan debt, right? And eventually you'll pay that off because you're making more money, make more money, and eventually you'll make more than what your hypothetical, your salary is. And eventually it's real money, right? You're actually making money. You're making way more than what your draw salary is, and then you're off of draw and you move to 100% commission. So it takes about 2 years for you to build up that book of business, get off of your draw salary, and be 100% commission. So it sounds really weird. It sounds almost fake. You don't know anyone that money if you decide to quit and you hate it. But it's a good way to start out, and it's like a safety net, right? So I got off a draw in about a year and a half, and it was great when I got off a draw. But when you get on 100% commission, you want to make sure you're set, right? Well, Victor Envelope will kind of make sure you're there, and if you're not ready, you can stay on longer too. So to answer your question. It could. I'm not sure, I guess, how pay structures are for these companies. But you know, if you're coming to Victor Envelope and you want to try to make money, it's a good way to do it, and it's uncapped. So when you do get to that 100% commission, you could be the highest paid person in the company if you want to, right? You can make more than the CEO, more than the president if you want to, but you just got to work really hard to get there.
Thanks. We'll come back for some more questions, but I want to give both of you a chance to kind of touch on this a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about ramp up speed for new hires, what those first few 6 months or a year look like.
Awesome. So this is actually one of the areas that I think our company actually probably does best. Our first role in that field sales and marketing representative, you spend 2 weeks. That's a full 80 hours onboarding and learning from other people who have been successful in that exact same role, both with your direct manager as well as a peer. That 30, 60, 90 days after that, we've got an actually 3-tiered training process where you're focused on not just the skills you need for the current role that you're in, but the skill sets and the soft skills that you'll need for those promotional opportunities.
I would have to say we're really lucky as well. We have what we call a Fastenal School of Business. In the past, it was an accredited college that our employees could get degrees from. But right now, we have I want to say it's like 60 people that write curriculum that go over it, that make sure it's okay, and they offer everything from in person to virtual to combinations, hybrid, whatever it might be. So that really assists in our onboarding. Like I said earlier, you can come to our company and not know anything about nuts and bolts. I know it's super sexy and everybody loves nuts and bolts, but some people don't understand them. But you can come in and we can train you up on what you need to know, as long as you fit our culture and you match, or you're able to work hard, work as a team. You're self-driven. You're able to come on, get trained in, fastenalized. You've heard spin selling. We call it fast selling, basically the same thing. But we want to make sure that you have the tools, you understand who we are. And it's kind of interesting because when you come to Fastenal, I heard somebody talking to a class from Fastenal, and they said that it's not really cold calling, it's kind of warm calling, because the customers we work with, they know who we are. The customers know what they need, and generally they have an idea what they want, and they're going to tell you that. And what our goal is, what our hope is that we can work with that customer, talk about those things they use, make sure they're using it in the best way, and maybe there's a product they could change and use differently, that would last a little bit longer but might be more expensive, but in the long run they save money. So you come to us, you generally have a book of business that you're taking over with a branch, with a national accounts, with whatever that might be. And our customers really know who we are. Obviously we'll try to call people that aren't our customers, but they still know who we are, what we do, have maybe worked with us in the past.
It's important to note that all three of them spoke to the fact that come to the company. You don't need to know anything about what we do, right? And I think that's an important point. If one of you wants to pick it up, great. But it is a situation where, hey man, I don't know anything about nuts and bolts. I don't know the envelope inventory industry. These guys, the training programs in most of the B2B world are designed that way. They're designed robust enough to produce success out of their staffs.
I mean, my degree is in elementary, middle education, and I have a master's in school counseling. So what am I doing working at Fastenal, selling PPE, industrial supplies, that kind of thing? But I have skills, customer service skills, and I had a desire to join a culture like Fastenal. So I found Fastenal, found that culture. I loved what I saw. Gave it a try. They trained me in. I worked in a branch for two months, going through the training that a normal branch operations person would go through. Did sales calls, did those things with people. So really, we honestly, I mean, look at me. They're just looking for people that want to work with people. You don't have to have a specific degree, even though that would help. Your training helps. I'm not telling you not to go to Dave's class, but make sure you're going to the classes, getting those things done.
Thank you for that. Jenna.
Kind of jumping off of that too, going back to our leadership development program and what we have to offer. Given that so many of our products are so niche, you're looking at rotary hammers, the 185 different attachments that you could put on them, as well as every other category from bandsaws to your drilling and driving, making sure that you go through that first role so you understand what the products are, who buys them, and what they're going to be using them for, is something that really adds a lot of value. But at the end of the day, I came into my exact same role. I didn't know the difference between a drill and an impact driver, but it's about being coachable. It's about being willing to learn and wanting to show up every day your best self.
I think being coachable is probably a big thing for us too. At any role you're going to get hired at, you need to be coachable. For us, if you know how to use a ruler, you can sell an envelope. It's as simple as that. Obviously, there's a lot in between learning how to use a ruler versus actually selling an envelope. But if you can use a ruler, it's pretty easy to sell an envelope.
All right. Other questions from the audience? Questions from you guys? This is your chance to ask these guys questions about their industries.
Yeah, so in terms of the sales process, how long is it from calling someone to signature signed from start to finish?
So like you think like what was the
In
last
terms
part?
of like a sales cycle, how long is it from the first initial call to the final handshake when the deal's signed?
For us, it really depends how big that customer is, how big that business is that we're trying to gain. If it's just expanding something and trying to get our product in place, let's say gloves. It's a pair of gloves that we found a better fit for. Our salesperson maybe you noticed that they've been using something that's been wearing out really quickly, so we've been replacing a lot of it. So then that's just a conversation that person has is, hey, we've noticed you use these a lot. You're wearing through them really quickly. I think if we move to this style, this would happen. And then as large of a company as we are, Fastenal, we have control of our logistics. Obviously, we use UPS and different things if we need to, but we hope we can use our own semis, our own drivers and those things. So we really have control over that. So we have different hubs. It's the hub and spoke. So we can get things relatively quickly, if not the next day, the day after, depending on how quickly that deal is and what size that business is.
For us, it really depends too. I would say we have a quicker sales cycle. But if you're starting a partnership, just with a cold call over the phone, it might take you a while to get some quotes, and then you got to land a quote, as a PO or, get the order and then you'll get the job. But that time frame could be years. It could be 1 minute. You can hang up the phone, send them the quote, and get the order. As far as our sales cycle goes, it could be pretty quick. You could send a quote off and, like I said, literally get the PO the next minute, or it could take months. Typically for me, I'm making anywhere from 10 to 30 sales a week. So envelopes are pretty transactional. So I'd say our industry has a pretty quick sales cycle.
Kind of going back to what Juan said, looking at the different sizes of the sales, I've seen different things from our representatives, whether it's working with an already established and well-maintained distributor, could be as fast as next day, a couple weeks, starting out the quotes from our other distributors to get things out. But I've also seen whether it's like $150,000 deal, that's going to take maybe 6 months. Sometimes it depends on just, the size of the sale and the availability of the inventory.
All right, fantastic. Other questions?
Okay, this question is for anyone who wants to answer, but as far as social media, do you see any opportunities where social media could be better utilized for marketing? B2B?
In general, I'm not going to speak to that because I think there's a lot of different examples out there. But I think we as a company, we could definitely enhance our social media use and connect more out there. But again, trying to make sure that we're connecting with the right people because TikTok, yeah, might be the most used, most downloaded, and everybody's on it. I don't know if my 12-year-old daughter is the best person to be receiving a Fastenal advertisement on there. So just trying to figure out that best route. I do think we as a company could definitely improve. I could improve, but there's definitely a lot that could be said for that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think for us, our company could improve, but it really depends on our industry, right? If you can try to figure out a new way to do something, or get our whole industry to kind of switch onto a certain social media platform and help more envelopes be sold, then yeah, there is room for growth. But I'd say it's a very tough barrier to entry. Just it's such an old industry, but there's certainly a lot of room to grow.
Given our current structure with the limited social media that we already use, I think we are continuing to just remain strategic in that way. And instead of investing the time and resources into those platforms, spending those resources and allocating all of that to the source of our business, which is our end users.
All right, thanks much. I've got time for one more from out here. Somebody wants to jump in with one last question? All right, we'll go this. Oh,
Okay, so I know some of you discussed coachability. What other qualities are you looking for in a full-time employee and also a potential intern?
I think it's really interesting because I've worked with some students that have come in and they've just been rock star students, can have a great conversation, talk about what they're going to do, great people skills, but then they get put into our culture, and because our culture is very decentralized, so we're given the opportunity to go out and attack business how we think we should attack it. Obviously, guide rails, you have bosses, all that stuff, but you're allowed to go out to market how you want to, and so I don't have somebody telling me, hey, you need to be here at this time, do this job, go over here, get this done. It's very, you have to be self-driven. And I've seen students and people get into our culture and just fall flat because they're used to people being like, okay, you got to be to class at this time, you're going to eat at this time, you have to go work at this time. So really that self-driven, self-motivated work, being able to work as a team, matching our culture of ambition, integrity, innovation, and teamwork. If those people come on, and again, back to that training, we can train you up if you have those skills on anything we need.
Coachability, absolutely. Kind of branching off of that, though, things that I look for when I'm interviewing my candidates. Leadership is always a big thing. Being able to take initiative, people that are go-getters, they're motivated and they're driven to outpace themselves every single time. The other part, kind of looking at the Milwaukee Tool brand of our business, specifically, one thing that makes it most unique is the value that they have in just being candid. So being personable, being able to speak your mind, being able to give feedback, receive feedback, and then apply it. Also, just really kind of fosters and encourages that innovation kind of side of our business, making sure that we can be fully transparent with the people that we are working with, and that we can drive just a positive culture that people enjoy coming to work for us every day.
I already kind of touch on it, but I think entrepreneurial, being that entrepreneurial minded is massive for us just because you do start out with no book of business. You got to come into work every day thinking, how can I find the next customer? So we're really looking for someone that has that trait. So driven, I guess, would kind of go along with that too.
all right, very good. We've got just a few minutes left. So I'm going to start with Jenna because I started with Juan when we started. One piece of advice you'd offer to the students that are about to graduate, or even the students that are just starting out that you wish you had known as they wrap up their careers or get going on their college careers. And then before you get started, these guys will be able to stick around for a little bit. So if you do have a question or want to come down and get a card or talk to them for a few minutes afterwards, we'll be happy to have you down.
One piece that has stuck with me from the time that I went through my interviews, looking for an internship, looking for a full-time job, and looking just at everything around me and having so many options. The biggest piece of advice that I've been given through all of that was to always consider myself an unfinished project. Looking at what am I good at? Awesome. How can I make that better? How can I take that to the next level and never feeling satisfied with where I am in my career, where I am in my personal development and my professional development? Always looking at what's next, shooting an even bigger goal, and making sure that, you know, you're never fully satisfied and you're always learning.
I would say one piece of advice is don't set your sights and put all of your eggs in one basket. Make sure you are doing interviews with companies, doing job shadows, seeing what other businesses are run like if you already have a job lined up, just to make sure it's the right fit. Because again, we hire for someone that wants to stick around for a career, and I would hope you guys would think something like that as well. You know, if you want to move up in a company, you have to stay there for a while most times. So really make sure it's the company that's a good fit for you. You like the people there, but test the waters. You know, see if other companies are open to let you shadow or do an interview or get another internship the next summer if you're young yet. So just really make sure it's the right fit for you.
Think for me, it's thinking back to school and once I graduated, I really wish I would have used the resources that were available to me, whether that be career services, whether that be the professors. Even today at the event that we had, I was listening to professors talking to recruiters and being like, "Hey, did you get this name?" The recruiter would say, "Hey, we're gonna reach out to this person. Do you know anything about them?" Having that connection and realizing that networking and doing those things helps you in the long run. Being in education when I was in college, the networking wasn't a huge focus of that, but I really see the benefits of that now and using those resources. Career services look at your resume; they'll help you negotiate contracts. They'll all these different things that they'll help you do, and I know your professors here will help you as well. So just use those resources, network, get out there, and like these two said, do those things as well.
All right. Thank you very much. Jenna from TTI Milwaukee Tool, Matt from Victor Envelope, and Juan from Fastenal, our great partners. Thank you guys for coming out. The attendance QR code is up on the screen. Be sure to scan that and get yourself signed in. Emily, did you have?
No, just please join us next week at our CMU day when we will be having pizza for all of you as well.
All right, everybody. A round of applause for our guests. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.